Howdy gang. Maximalize Hi, welcome back to Deadly Premonition. Deadly Project Premonition. So I was just doing some of the time stampings and, titling and whatnot. Making my VODs a little more digestible as I do. And this is how you can tell I'm a lazy bastard and I don't do these until they've piled up for like 4 sessions. I just now know that the game is like kind of loud, like internally, as well as my mic was a little too quiet. And it's partially me just mumbling or whatever, because I talk to myself and it be like that, but turn the mic up some anyways, and then see if I can adjust the master volume in this or something. Turn it down just slightly. I could obviously do it on the stream, but this is an issue if the game itself is too loud. Turn down the music some. Make the voices all prominent and CV. What is CV? Is it cinematic volume maybe? Like SV, CV. Character? One of these is definitely like sound effects, and I want those down. Let's try this one. The gun specifically is really loud every time you shoot it, and like, I'm sorry, I want this to be as digestible as possible. Anyways, it's like 8 AM right now. I started the new job and I'm on 3rd shift, so this is like when I'm getting
previously
home
during the investigation.
normally, though I had the day off.
Forest case. Thomas, did you?
So I'm in a weird place right now. Like most people, you want to go to work as soon as they wake up, and I'm definitely like
Zach,
that.
we need to be at Carol's bar at 2200. Looks like we have some time to kill. We can go to the diner and see how Nick and Olivia are doing.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that. It's not like I do anything. I would still hypothetically like get home and have hours to myself. Good usable hours, like when stores are just opening is when I'm getting home, so you know there's no disadvantage to that, unlike before where I'd be awake in the night when everything's fucking closed. However, if I do that, then I miss dinner, and like, you know, I like free food, I like the company. It's easier for my dad to cook if he's not cooking for one person. You'll make yourself a whole like fried chicken dinner for one person, and it just doesn't happen. It's too much work, and a lot of food goes to waste, so it's just not worth it. So like now I'm trying to like put a timer on myself. I want to be in bed by noon at the latest, though maybe even earlier than that, so I can wake up by 6 at the latest and just in time for dinner. And then I have a little time before work, which is nice, and then a little time after work, and it's just like, it's a weird spot. Like I go to sleep and I have more time, so it's not like I wake up and go right into work again, but like just a little time, like, do I use that time for games both times? Do I watch something and then have less time for a game? Like, it's harder to get in a good sesh. I don't know, it takes some getting used to. Maybe I'll...
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out? We need to be at Carol's bar at 2200.
Decide to go to sleep
free
as soon
until
as I
then.
get home or something, which I don't want to do. Like, if I had my day at work, I had a bad day, even if I had an alright day up to that point, like, I'm just not used to that, but it might be the way to go. The issue is I have so much time before going to work, there's an increased risk that I'll, like, take a nap or something before, and that wouldn't be good. Dangerous. You know, one, offsetting my schedule, two, what if I sleep through work? Get my ass fired. Right, I'm not allowed back in the kitchen.
Hey, I'm working here. You can't just stroll into a chef's kitchen.
Then perhaps you would give me your permission to enter.
No, get the hell out of here.
Zach, everyone has their own sanctuary. Let's leave him in his.
So, yeah, again, it's 8 a.m., which means 3 hours will be exactly what I want to shoot for, which is what we normally do. I shouldn't be cutting this short at all, but just know I might get, like, tired, because I have been up since 6 p.m. or so. And, you know, maybe I'll end up cutting it short if I get sleepy enough. I just, like, totally... Becky was killed, Nick came home, they're not there, and it's like normal, but that's what makes me even more scared. I feel like I'm the one on the verge of nerves breaking down. So Nick is unfazed. He was part of the planning. What was I saying? The hell was I talking about? I don't know. I swear there was a side quest icon when I popped in here earlier. Maybe it was just that. I'm supposed to check on Nick and Olivia, but Nick's in his kitchen. I gotta wait for him to get to the window, I guess. Right, I was gonna say, I forgot that I wanted to stream today, because, again, with it being third shift, I have Friday and Saturday off, not Saturday, Sunday, because Sunday night when I start is technically like Monday morning, you know? So, like, it's like I have the weekend off, like, I'm gonna have Sunday off, but I go to work for the last hour of Sunday. Well, it's weird thinking about time and stuff. Like, I don't even know how I'm planning out showers anymore, because, like, I want to shower before I go to sleep. Which means, I don't know, was I supposed to take one today, or am I doing it when I get home from work? I didn't do anything, I was just home all day, so I shouldn't be dirty, whether I forgot or not, but, you know, it's complicated. Nick, get your sweet ass over here. son of a bitch. Boiling your arm. Is that the secret ingredient? Best keep those arms shaved or I'll complain about hair. Put the ladle in his mouth, tipped it right back in the pot. Too good for him. Damn right. Oh, nice. What? Nope. So, I was like looking at a wiki, not a wiki, what's it called, a game FAQ, you know, the guides that are all text and sometimes hard to navigate because they have to list all the controls and stuff. Yeah, to get like chapter names for when I'm time stamping. And it looks like we're about a third through the game or so. But I also figured out two very important things. One, smoking a cigarette. That is how you pass time. Like, you can wait by smoking a cigarette. And when I read that, I was like, that sounds familiar. I think I read it in a loading screen or something. Totally forgot about it, but that's very useful to know. Just like Metal Gear Solid 5, where you smoked a cigar, it goes, wow! Nick. Supposed to check on them at home? Damn it. Fuck out of here. Alright, so the other important thing is there is a fast travel system. You have to unlock it, which I think is kind of neat, but basically that white flower we picked up, there's a quest related to it, of course, but the person who gives it to us is actually a little unexpected. It is George. So after work, I'm supposed to go to George's house and talk to him, and he should have a quest related to the flowers. I don't know if I have to pick up all the flowers or if there was only the one, but I don't know, he's gonna give us like a radio, and then we can go to important places that we visited using that radio. I just gotta find George's house. It was like a thing that's mentioned all over the guy. I was like, what the fuck is this radio? Okay. You know, I found it eventually, and, you know, kind of spoiled it for myself. I'm glad I found it, because you know how much I dislike the driving. Corpse tunnel. So, if the Undertaker doesn't want the bones, maybe Usher does. It's in our thought. Or that, or we put him in Sigourney's pot, or something weird. Alright, so George is right next to the junkyard, who has another quest, too. Meaning we just need to like turn around. Alright. Yeah, we need to go west, I think. Is this right? Cool. Also, you can get York's car back. That's like your final reward for doing these junkyard quests, I guess. It's like the best car in the game, so like the guide made a point being like, you gotta get this car. Well, it's not like I read the whole damn guide, I think it was a goddamn wall of text, but there were a few things that the guide mentioned a lot. Such as York's car being indestructible.
So, Zach, this case turned into a multiple homicide. What kind of motives turn a criminal into a serial killer? Is it hedonistic? Ritualistic? Copycat crime? Sex-related? Cannibalistic? From the Bureau of Statistics, these interesting ideas don't always really explain the real motive. They're just words. Phrases that the media uses to scare citizens. The spotlight falls on a mere 1% of all cases. Only the weird ones. You understand all this, right, Zach? No matter how bizarre a crime may appear to be, at the root, there is always rage and personal interest. Right, Zach? Most people simply don't kill for pleasure. But that kind of common sense never applies to our investigations. Maybe we're lucky, or unlucky depending on how you look at it. We end up working on those cases in that 1%. Do you remember, Zach, the first case we handled just after becoming a special agent? Now let's talk about this another time. I don't feel like it right now.
That's DP2. George has a quest. Are you fucking kidding me? Does he have like hours? George? Alright, do I have any cigarettes? Is Heavy the brand? Is that like Marlboro Red? It's in a red case. I think the heaviest cigarette. Cowboy Killer, they call it. Tagline used to be, I'm in flavor country. Even though most people just fucking cough it up.
Agent York, there you are.
Emily, what's the matter?
Nick left the bar alone. I tried to follow him, but he saw me.
I see. That's a shame.
A shame? Is that all you can say? Weren't you supposed to follow him from the bar? This was your plan, and you messed it up. What's up with you?
I had something else to do. What about Diane?
She didn't show. Maybe they got wind of our plan?
I doubt that. Nick is practically blind to his surroundings, and Diane hasn't put up her guards yet. That means we have another chance tomorrow. Let's call it a night.
We have to do this your way, right? I can't believe this.
Let George and the others know too, okay?
Oops. Yeah, alright, I should just reload. We'll do this correct.
Previously during... Zach, we need to be at Carol's bar at 2200. Looks like we have some time to kill.
We can go to the diner and see how Nick and Olivia are doing.
No, we can't. I started the new job. Like, officially, I've been on the floor, but I'm still in training. It's really weird. I'm doing, like, a crap ton of reading and all this, this stuff that seems kind of irrelevant. Like, some of it is, but, you know, which is, like, workplace culture stuff. I knew I saw a side quest. You know, things from the handbook. They're basically making me read the handbook. I'm getting paid
Zach,
to do it.
is there something here that you want to check out?
We need to be at Carol's bar at 2200. We're free until then.
I'll have to find FK later on. Yeah, it's a lot. Like, I've gone through a whole week and I'm still not done. I maybe only have one more day left of it. Like, I don't know. They're not all equally sized things. But, you know, whenever, I'm not complaining. My butt is, but it's fine, I guess. It's just really weird because, like, every other job I've had, they try to get you out working as soon as possible. They don't really give a shit if you know your handbook or whatever. They might give you a little quiz, but then they help you cheat through it, which they totally did here too. But that was training, which was a week ago already. Like, it was a week after all that.
So, Zach,
It was only
this
like,
case turned into a multiple
I
homicide.
don't know, 3 days at most.
What kind of motives turn a criminal into a serial killer?
I already spent 2 weeks and still haven't done anything.
Ritualistic?
Been paid for it though. So again,
Sex-related? Cannibalistic?
At least it
Bureau
gives a
statistics.
different vibe.
These interesting ideas don't always really explain the real motive. They're just words. Phrases that the media uses to scare citizens. The spotlight falls on a mere 1% of all cases. Only the weird ones.
You understand all this, right, Zach? No matter how bizarre a crime may appear to be, at the root, there is always rage and personal interest. Right, Zach?
Most people simply don't kill for pleasure. But that kind of common sense never applies to our investigations. Maybe we're lucky. Or unlucky, depending on how you look at it. We end up working on those cases in that 1%.
Do you remember, Zach? The first case we handled, just after becoming a special agent?
Tried. I was
No, let's
breaking
talk about
that
this
whole
another time.
time.
I don't feel like it right now.
When I smoked that cigarette, I thought I was gonna, like, let me pick what time I wanted to wait until, but no.
George, which do you prefer, mustard or hot sauce?
You didn't come all the way to my house just to ask me that. You don't have other things you should be doing?
Of course I do. But I'm interested in you right now.
Interested? Agent Morgan, look, my mother is sick. If it's not urgent, I'd rather we did this later.
Is she very ill?
Well, I have to say, it doesn't look good.
I'm sorry to hear that. Anything I can do?
No, this is a private matter. I can't ask for your help.
You know, back in D.C., people always came to me for personal advice. I'm here to help you if you let me.
There's no need for that, Agent Morgan. Please. You need to...
Abide by the rules, right? Okay, I get it. I didn't mean to invade into your private matters.
Oh.
George, I just thought you could use a friend who wasn't a dumbbell.
Back when I was a kid, my mother really liked this flower.
Flower?
Yes. Small flower. No
You
name.
only get this quest if you did the one
It
where you
grows
found the
somewhere here in
dumbbell.
Greenvale, although I must admit I've never seen it actually growing anywhere. I think it would make my mother happy if you could get her that flower.
George, that's good. Great idea. Every woman likes to receive flowers. You know all about that, right, Zach?
In any case, this is a personal matter. Make sure it doesn't interfere with the investigation.
Of course not, George. But I'm going to find that flower for you.
I've got that flower in my inventory. It's not the list I thought it wanted me to view. See if I can squeeze this out before the next bell. Arthur Morgan. Only
George,
shows when it's raining.
Here it is. The nameless
That's why
flower.
they're not all over the map right now. But also,
Agent
it's
Morgan.
like he never saw them because nobody goes out when it rains.
No need to thank me.
Guess it was a different time. When
I did this on my
mother
own,
was young.
during my private hours. Tell your mother I hope she gets well soon.
Yeah, I'll do that. This'll make her feel at least a little better.
I sure hope so. I really do.
Take this. It's an emergency police radio. If you're ever in trouble, use it, and I'll be right there.
Thank you, George.
Now we're like best friends.
Now, Agent Morgan, don't take this the wrong way. It's not an emotional thank you gift for helping me with my mother. I'm giving you this so we can do our jobs more smoothly, that's all.
Alright. I need to get to an item box and I guess dump off a food item if I want to use that, but that's the fast travel system. And I'm very interested in using it. Surprised it wasn't like a main item, that would have been great. Fishing rod is. Apparently expand your item bag somehow too. That was like in the key points or like list of upgrades, list of controls, list of all the side quests. It was literally almost half the page before you ever got to any of the actual walkthrough information. can't believe I used to read game facts all the time. Like, it's a lot to digest, especially for a child, but it's what I need to do. Like, Let's Play was really a thing at the time. Video walkthroughs like that.
Do you remember? How many years ago was it now? That multiple homicide of young girls in that college town in Illinois. All the victims were cut open from the throat to the crotch. Ripped right open. During the autopsy, a second stomach was found inside the first victim's body.
Second stomach?
Of course, she didn't naturally grow a second stomach. One of the stomachs belonged to someone else. As more victims piled up, there was one with 2 hearts, one with 2 livers, 4 lungs. Different organs each time.
Of course, those extra organs didn't do the girls much good, right, Zach?
And they say too much is never enough. In the end, we arrested a professor at the med school. They found the body of his daughter, dead, and the missing organs at his house. You remember what he said when we took him in? I was ordered to restore those deformed bodies back to normal. And remember who he said ordered him? An alien. Well, of course, we couldn't arrest an alien, so we arrested the professor instead. Serial killers can't be caught by logic and common sense. I learned this the hard way. That first case taught me that. Since then, these cases just keep getting more and more complicated. It's a tough job. I thought getting experience while I was young would make the job easier.
Or if there's a real case like that. That sounds pretty nutso. Suppose I could hit up the bar while it's open. We got a little time to kill. Thomas? Maybe from getting sleepy, that's cool. These things must have Red Bull in them. Got the E reloaded. Oyster stew. Beer makes me sleepy, but I guess a lot of cocktails have energy drinks or whatever mixed in when it's a cocktail. I don't drink them on their own, but you know, it does its job. It must be best skedaddle. Stopped in for a quick oyster stew. Doggy. Oh, bloodhound, something. Bastard. not a bloodhound. They have round ears, round floppy ears. And they're brown. How'd I miss that? Is there to speak on? Right, we can talk about. We talked about Deep Rock Galactic last time, right? Just a little bit. I'm still very much playing the game, so I didn't get my full thoughts on it, but you know, just in another addendum, with it being like a live service kind of game, there's like daily missions and stuff, for some that I'm actively playing and trying to grind out cosmetics and stuff for. I'm like, it's kind of eating up that first little time slot I have every day. Like, it could be any game, but I gotta play Deep Rock so I can get a daily out before I hit my maximum daily queue, which forces you to play every 3 days at least. And sometimes they're not always so quick to do. Like, it'll want me to do 5 missions in a specific area, but like, the areas that are available change each time you do a mission, so you can't necessarily do that, and then like, you're trying to get your assignments done, so they don't always take you to the right area either, unless you go out of your way to do them, and I don't know, it's just taking up a lot of my time, and it's not like I'm not having fun, but like, it's shitty, you know. This is the FOMO, the fear of missing out that everybody keeps talking about. Like, I think after the season ends, all the rewards end up in the cosmetic shop, but I don't know for sure because I just started. And I know that the next season's coming soon-ish. Like, they're doing an anniversary event, and then maybe when that ends, the next season starts. I did a whole post about it, so I don't know what the time frame is on it. I'm like halfway through the seasonal rewards, and I know I'm not gonna get them all, but I'm trying. It's a little stressful, honestly. And here's a Storm does dailies too, but like, the game is ostensibly dead. Like, all you do with the coins is buy free shit, but the game also dished out loot boxes frequently, so it's not like the free shit is like a big deal. So I don't really care if I miss my dailies there. Still, it's, you gotta wait 3 days so I can make the most money in the stomach it. Ugh. Yeah, some days it's just really bad. I usually have fun, but some community is just really toxic. Sometimes you have a bad day, other days you're on a winning streak and it's alright. So that's a different story. I normally play the ranked games, not because I give a shit about my ranking, but one, you get a reward at the end of the ranking season, which is every couple months. Usually like a legendary chest or something based on what rank you're in. But yeah, it has a draft, so you do like picks and bans, and you do all coordinated. Like, it's the random queue just like it's really bad. Most of the game's roster is like ranged assassins, so when you do a random queue, it's supposed to try and group you with like a fair team comp, but you usually end up with like all ranged assassins, and then you've got a healer who doesn't have a tank to heal, or your team just doesn't have a tank and it's all assassins, or there is no healers, anything like that. It's always very bad. So like the draft is almost entirely necessary, but I also just like drafting too, not picking guys. The issue with that is there's like a total meta since the game hasn't been updated like properly in a very long time, so like they're always gonna ban Kael'thas first, and then they're gonna ban Brightwing because those are like some of the best heroes, you know. And like there's a weird aspect to that where like, yeah, Kael'thas is very powerful and you probably want to buy him in case they don't ban him or you get first pick or something, but he's also always going to get banned, so maybe you don't want to buy him at all. So I sure as shit ain't spending money on a dead game. I'm not buying a hero pack or anything like that. I'm only getting who's free and what I can afford with the in-game currency. Anyways, I said some days you're on a winning streak. I was on like a 7-game winning streak, all in ranked, and my rank did not go up one bit. That's how few points you get when you do ranked games. I don't understand how it's calculated, because you can go down a whole rank in just like 2 or 3 losses. It must be somehow judging your actual performance, and I guess like getting stomped, it shows that you're a really shitty player and that takes out a lot of points, but outperforming the other team winning, I guess I'm not showcasing enough skill to earn points to rank up. Like, I don't get it. Yeah, I'm not always playing super sophisticated. That's because I'm in fucking trash tier bronze right now. Like, I don't need to. I'm surprised I've been stuck in the bronze hell pit, because before I was always like silver 3, like not good, but you know, better than bottom tier bronze. I think I even crawled my way up to gold for a second. I ended that season in silver, of course, but you know, I was pretty alright at a time. I don't know if there's a platinum rank or if it goes right to storm tier or not, but you know, I'll take silver. It's funny though, with how few players there are, people like aren't blocking each other anymore, so sometimes you'll get in a game like, oh, I fucking hate that guy. That was actually like literally the last game I played. There were a whole team of people that guys on my team knew. Like, these guys are fucking trolls. We couldn't possibly lose to them, and then we lost to them because we had bad team comp. I'm sure it does move slow. But there's nothing to do this late. Clusters are gone, right? I would just smoke that cigarette, but then we'd miss the timer, so you really do just have to wait right now. Say, what can we do? I played a little Enshrouded. Game's in early access, so I probably won't be able to talk about it for a year or more. I can talk about what I played at least. So it's voxel based, which means that you can like dig and build like block by block, and things like kind of change shape to the form. Like maybe this will be a chain link if you build it next to another chain link, but when it gets to 4 tiles wide, it'll add in a little post, and it'll become a post with 2 links on it, and the middle block will be chains, and stuff like that. So like it makes it kind of hard to tell what your building is going to look like. I wish you could maybe pick the specific kind of block that you're placing for some things, but it's fine. The building is really robust, and you can do like one block, or they have these prefab shapes, or like there's just a pillar, or here's a full-ass wall. You have various sizes on all of them, and again, they all just like deform to make something good looking usually. And that's like the interesting part about it being voxels, that when you go into the build menu, it's all just shapes and the material, which is exactly how it's done, like if they were building it in the game engine. And once you snap it down, it like becomes a part of the world mesh or whatever. It's not individual objects you're placing like in something like Valheim. No, I do think that it's like a little janky. I've been playing with the controller because of the kind of game it is, and it mostly feels good. I especially like how your hotbar, you can like navigate it with the D-pad, or you can hold a button and a wheel will pop up that you can use the stick for. That's awesome. The only thing that really needs a little assistance is the menus, which I almost had a system worked out for. Like there's rebindable controls, so I had it so like you hold the block button and then you push the D-pad, and that will bring up a menu, a specific menu. So I can go to my inventory, I can go to the map. The issue with that is, even though it does recognize combo inputs, it like breaks eventually. Like it worked for a little bit, and then eventually it just starts doing it on the normal input without holding the button. So, it completely messed up menu navigation when I hit left or right, and it opens up a menu instead of moving through that while I'm in a menu. That's a damn shame. Otherwise, it works pretty great. If they had like DualSense support, it would be awesome. If I could like do trackpad gestures, that'd be the next best thing. Anyways, the game started out about as you'd expect, like it's a survival game. Chop trees and pick up rocks and shit, build a little base. But then after you find like your first NPC, the blacksmith, and you're able to build like a proper armor set with passive bonuses, which will be the warrior set, so it gives you like a ton of extra health and stamina and health regen. It becomes a whole different game. It just plays like a normal action RPG, and now I'm loving it. Like, I'm not constantly grinding for food and shit, and I like to relax and build the base sometimes, but I also just go out and explore to gather good materials. And when you fight bosses or open up chests from doing puzzles, you might find awesome items. Like, I've got all these legendary weapons that are just way stronger than anything I can craft. And in fact, most of the crafted weapons can't be upgraded like the things you find are, so they end up being better in the long run anyways, even like the weaker ones. So like it's good, you can craft to like make yourself competent in an area, but then actually exploring the area you'll get the good shit. It feels kind of like Terraria like that. So like you can somewhat ignore the survival elements, but there's also a pretty genius system with the base where like every bit of decoration you slap down adds to the comfort level, which will increase the duration of your well-rested buff when you're chilling there. And, you know, that gives you all kinds of nice bonuses based on the tier of the buff, so the more comfortable your place is, the stronger and longer it lasts. Yeah, that's pretty sick. There are a few issues, like, it is early access, of course, but, like, the NPCs, you kind of slap them down like furniture and they don't move at all. So that's a little shitty. They're also, like, everyone has to summon them individually. They aren't, like, per base, so if you're playing multiplayer and you have separate bases, you'll be, like, passing your NPCs around. They won't ever be where you left them. There's no way to communicate in multiplayer, so like the servers are pretty dead. They're all like one person only. So like play with your friends in Discord, I guess, because there's no text chat, there's no in-game voice, there's no emotes even. You just jump, squat, whatever. That's how you communicate with strangers, which is awful. And there's no PvP either, so like it's almost pointless to play multiplayer with strangers. And I think that's really gonna be killing the game, even though it just launched. Like that's a pretty integral feature. V Rising's supposed to have VoIP in it, and VoIP is like outdated in Unity, so like it hasn't been in the game. They like did a workaround and fixed it on the official servers, but if you make your own server, there's no VoIP, and that's like another thing that's killing the multiplayer in that game, aside from lack of content right now. But yeah, they showed off the new patch, and he just ran that fucking wall. They showed off the new patch, and it's doing a lot of good things, a lot of very, very good things, so I'm real excited for that when 1.0 comes out. Because I got sidetracked, we were talking about Enshrouded. So the shroud mechanic, it's a little fucking harsh, right? You got like a breath timer when you're in the fog zones. And, you'd think when that timer runs out, you'd like start losing health, maybe at a somewhat severe rate, or maybe just like a negligible rate, but no. It's basically instant death. And it feels kind of fucking annoying sometimes. Like, I'm glad that it's not a joke, but it needs to be less aggressive. Also, I want to praise the skill tree. Like, everything in it is so interesting. Like, some of the nodes in it are just like stat increases, but those stat increases are very meaningful when you get them. Like, the numbers all stay small, so when you get one more point of constitution, it's like 50 points of health, and your health bar like doubles in size. It's crazy. But then most of the nodes are not stats, they're little passive things. You'd be like, okay, this adds sneak attacks. This adds a little healing aura you passively put out around you. So like there's multiplayer focused things. In something like Valheim, there's no way to draw aggro, but there's perks that draw aggro, so one of you can actually play a tank. There's stuff that adds like, you'll do a little damage, or you'll do stagger damage when you do a parry, you get stamina back, you run faster and use less stamina when sprinting on a road. Yeah, it's like a full ring, there's all kinds of different things, there's freaking monster taming, there's trap laying, or archery, shield stuff, two-hander stuff, mage stuff, all kinds of mage stuff. There's literally like a magic fist perk in there. Like that turns your unarmed attacks into a magical push that scales with your intelligence stat. It's basically like the Ordinator mod from Skyrim. This makes the whole perk tree really interesting, and yeah, I kind of want all of them. You can basically swap them out anytime. You just go back to the base and respec, and you can change your class on the fly. But with that being so easy, I feel like there should almost be a loadouts system to make switching them out even easier and less annoying. If I just want to play a mage for a bit, I can just swap to my other loadout. That'd be awesome.
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out?
We need to be at Carol's bar at 2200. We're free until then.
Let's see. I'm still just stuck in the first zone. I think I've explored most of it. I'm still gathering NPCs. I've got like 3 of them, and I know the location of another 2. There's new mechanics being introduced by those all the time. But I'm intentionally taking it slow because it's in early access, and there's more content being added. But what's cool about that is the areas that are like unfinished have been like walled off, so there's just nothing there, and that means that when they are finished, you won't have to make a new world or anything. Obviously, new mechanics and stuff are going to be added too, like hopefully a text chat, and ideally VoIP, if not general voice chat. I think it's pretty fun as it is, even as just a single-player experience. I just think that the communication should be their #1 priority, otherwise the multiplayer scene is going to fucking die. Now, the building being robust, there's going to be a lot of people making cool stuff to show off on YouTube, and that will probably keep it, like, popular. Which, maintaining popularity is super important when you launch in early access, because that was your launch. You do not, like... It's not going to be that big of a deal when you finally put out the 1.0 update. You do not get a second launch. So, like, getting that Twitch attention, keeping the game alive like that is super important. And I think that might be where they fuck up, even though it's going to be really good regardless. I will say that, like, there's so many terrain deformation tools, and I feel like it should all be consolidated into one little tool belt. Which maybe it will happen, like in Terraria, you get the literal tool belt later on, where you stuff all your tools into one functional thing. And, you do it with a couple different things, so it doesn't take up so much of your hotbar. Like, one thing for, like, laying wires and stuff, and another for all your building tools and whatnot. It adds measurements to the building grid on display. Like, you just combine all those accessories together. And, Enshrouded initially had me digging through all my chests to get materials, but eventually I unlocked the magical chest, where you can put all your crafting materials, and all your crafting stations in that base will magically pull from it. So, like, I kind of like that, I wish that it was like that from the beginning, but having as an upgrade is, like, the next best thing, and some people might even prefer it. My time at Sandrock does the automatic pulling from all your storage things, so I haven't even organized my chests, and it's a bit of a problem, honestly. So, doing it as an upgrade kind of encourages you to keep some organization. But, they both work and they're both super convenient regardless. And it looks like it's about time for us to get moving. Catch this sumbitch.
Nick's still in the bar.
Just as we planned then. I wonder what happens next.
Agent York, you're really enjoying this, aren't you? I have to admit, I envy that.
You'd be enjoying it too if you didn't know this guy. That's why you don't get close to the townspeople when you're a cop.
Agent York, Nick is leaving the bar.
What about Diane?
She isn't here tonight.
Emily, check that with George.
George, can you hear me? Nick's leaving the bar. What's happening with Diane?
No movement. Tell me what to do here.
Stay put, George. I'm thinking Nick will head to the gallery. Let's meet up there.
10-4. Copy that.
Agent York, it's Nick.
Yeah, I get that nobody wears the raincoat, but an umbrella, people, come on.
Okay. Time to play with the big boys.
Come on. Wire must be loose. Let me just unplug it. Could Bluetooth it, but it's difficult to shut off when you do it like that. Still, I like to have the option. If I had glasses, I would totally be sitting in my bed there with my controller and actually seeing stuff. But right now, it's just like too inconvenient, like it's all fucking blur from back there. I can watch stuff just fine, but if any text shows up on screen, I gotta stand up or something. Slow because I'm close. This is gonna take forever. great time for a chat pop-up to happen. I already did my talking. I'm waiting for this mission to start. And I think I might be able to pull something else out of my ass. Trump made that comment about the NATO, how people don't want to pay and they don't get protection. And, you know, he'd let Russia invade a country that hasn't paid into the pact. And, you know, people are like, that's treason, we hate you, Trump. But like, is it controversial to say that he's right? Well, and what's the point of paying for the treaty if you aren't gonna, if you're just gonna protect anyone who didn't pay in anyways? Like, that was the deal. That was the fucking deal. You all work together and pool your funds to make an army to invade in case anyone gets invaded by the Russia. But if you're not part of the deal, then you get invaded by Russia, and like maybe we get our sympathies and we throw you a little airstrike occasionally, like we're doing with Ukraine. Or, you know, maybe play both sides and make money, which is probably what we're secretly doing. But like, again, that was the fucking deal. I don't see why it's so controversial to say such a thing. Obviously, it might come and bite us in the ass, and it would be, again, not advantageous to let them grow to becoming an actual superpower. Like, maybe Russia could be a serious threat, or to swallow up all of Europe. But, right now, I don't think so. I do think that their current situation with Ukraine is like gonna make them stronger though. Like, everybody always said they're not a superpower and their army sucks. It's all just reserves from World War II, and that's totally true. But since we like gave Ukraine all this modern technology and their super tank killer that we designed just for them, a lot of that surplus stuff from World War II is like getting destroyed, which means the next time Russia decides to do anything, it's going to be with modern technology. Whether or not they can afford that is a different story, but like, you know, like their entire male population being trained in the military, at least they have a large army that's going to be modernly equipped. And they have World of Tanks players piloting their tanks. So they're gonna have robo-tanks as well as trained soldiers. Yeah, I think that could be a big deal and a little scary the next time they do something. sure there's plenty more to talk about with Trump, but I don't really keep up with news like that. I'm digging through my head to remember what's going on in the world. None of it's good, man. I just want to not pay attention to it. I think fucking cat. He's moving just fast enough that I can't walk away. Fuck up. Like a Dr. Seuss tree. It's a tree in which you can make things to fulfill all needs. I bet what's happening here is they have him on a schedule to be at her place at a certain time. So he's moving at this pace because he needs to be there in like exactly an hour or something. So it's like his speed is literally being multiplied by the distance over time or whatever. As opposed to just faking it and, you know, hiding the timer while I race him or something, some high-speed chase segment, and then, you know, setting the time to a specific value once we arrive, which would have been the smarter thing to do. Instead we have this. I guess you don't need any scripts to do it this way. sure I'll have to talk about this again, but I said before I'm playing Final Fantasy 16, and I'm in like the last-ish act, so like the big bad right now are evil Sephiroth man. Is the guy who has Odin as his icon. His name starts with a B. I don't remember what it is. It might be like Bartholomew or Balthazar or something. I don't fucking know. Boris. Whatever. It don't matter. I just want to say that, like, I'm not liking the way he's implemented the story. Like, so he's trying to, like, break you mentally for spoiler story reasons, whatever. You know, that's his whole goal. He's just trying to make you suffer, basically, so you don't want to live anymore. That's what I'm gathering. Yet, he has not appeared anywhere until, you know, just now when he's relevant. This would have been great if he showed up early in the story and he kept, like, fucking with you throughout the game. Sort of like, Knives. Knives Millions from, Trigun. Or, I guess Legato was the guy doing all his handiwork for him, but you know, he just like shows up and tries to make Vash suffer so he'll finally kill someone. That's his whole deal. And I think that would like work a lot better narratively, but also the first time you meet this guy, you like lose to him because it's a cutscene fight, but then the second time you wail on him.
By now, if I was driving.
You know, he doesn't kill you. And, like, very little time has passed between fight 1 and 2, so it just doesn't make sense.
Agent York, Nick's getting away.
Don't worry, time to get serious. Hold on, you two, this might get bumpy.
Now, obviously, I'm still working through the arc, so I can't tell you if it concludes well or not, but, like, it was a weak arc. I thought the rest of the game's been fine, but, like, this, I'm just, like, getting a little frustrated, all the story bits in it.
George.
No, he hasn't showed up here.
Just blatantly
What
bad
about
writing.
Diane? Any movement?
No action here at all. Did something happen?
Yes, a little.
Bad
But
pacing
George,
rather
something's
not bad
different
writing.
about you. Are you okay?
Actually, I had a little drink while I was waiting. This is my first murder case, after all. I'm on edge, and I needed one. It was only a little, though. I'm still in control.
So you were at the bar.
Zach, Nick and Diane are probably both inside.
George, you're sure you didn't see Nick?
Positive. I haven't taken my eyes from the entrance all night.
Not that I don't trust you, George. But I'm positive Nick is here. Is there another entrance?
Not that I know of.
Well, I'll go look for one. Help me out if you can, would you?
You're in the other world. All these cars. Who else is here? Must have a secret meeting spot somewhere. Ching ching. Lay down some pipe. What the fuck? Ah, bitch. Ah, bitch. Ah, bitch. Bitch. They're all individual enemies with the same character model. You see, I'm getting paid for killing her. It's always the same one. You don't want to die. Hey, hey. Bitch. I just think of that video. The black guy gets tased and he's completely unfazed by it. Just cigarette out of his mouth, he's like, "I'll get you, bitch." All these enemies don't always react when they get just make a run for it. Damn. No. Yeah, you just have to sit here and actually kill them. I feel like I went the right way, but also the wrong way simultaneously. Padlock I can shoot off, is there? No, it's on the other side. Maybe I can. Get the fuck off me. Maybe there's another way around. I did mention a forest path. I should turn my sweet ass around and see if I can find it. It kind of looks like there might be one on the map. I just need to get to the other side of the building. Skybox. Very PS2 looking in a good way. Is this just like a hint that I should be looking over here? Aren't gonna stop spawning either. Can't fucking see. Right. Catch a bullet. If they're here, you think you would have seen one of the cars pull up. Or Nick's, rather. Obviously, the other chick's still here. Secret path in, though.
Emily, I want you guys to...
Wait out here, I know. I'm not gonna fight you about this anymore. But promise me this. If there's trouble, then you'll call us in, okay? You might not think so, but we're a team.
A team.
That's what I think, at least, and
Well, I got
I'm
news for
interested in you and
There's
Zach.
no I in
I
team,
don't want
so
anything to
get the
happen
fuck
to you
out of my
before I hear
face.
more about you two.
Zach, did you hear that? She wants to know more about you. Isn't that a nice surprise? Amazing.
Said she wanted to know more about you, Mr. Morgan. You mean to imply that you and Zach are one? Are you one of them two spirits? This looks like a real shooter. Section 2 would probably be kind of fun if they were. You don't complain about having no weapon variety or shooting things that come out of nowhere, standing still and doing stuff like that in a real shooter, you know? Dracula? Bad feeling about this hallway. He's gonna chase us for later, if not now.
Huh?
Organ? Kick from the ring? Ring you? Like the other changes. Get to the moon. Oh fuck! Maybe only if you dodge an attack and she becomes invisible. Yeah. The walk on is helpful for turning around a little faster. those quick shots off. I don't really have time to aim for a head or anything. Like shot between her legs and it missed. Notice how precise the hitbox was actually. So impressive. Considering how many games just throw a little box around the whole character. That's something. You see a freaking Overwatch patch where how the hitboxes are like 9 miles past the actual character model. They hit without even moving them. A game that's supposed to be competitive. Like real competitive. That's what Blizzard's kind of banking on that now. I hate this. Yeah, it's not bad, it's just the shitty zombies, these are just tedious. Do I have a shotgun or anything like that? SMG is really gonna help much. That first aid kit actually. We changed suits. I like the pink, but I just want to keep it interesting. Have we worn the blue yet? Not the rainy stripe. No, we definitely had the rainy stripe on. It was the cowboy looking one. Oh, deep blue. Like Phoenix Wright. Objection! We'll probably put the pink back on eventually. It looked pretty sick. Yeah, there's a padlock on it. It's all the same person. Is that Sir Isaac
This
Newton?
is the entrance hall.
You? What are you doing here? So it was you. Much more astonishing than I imagined. I'm impressed. No! Don't! I'm not gonna stop!
Too much noise. We're still missing a vital piece of the puzzle.
I'm guessing I'm gonna get like apples. Have to match them to the images. Or something similar. Or maybe something representing age. I don't remember what the deal with the apple is, but you know, he somehow used it to prove gravity. The man's famous for. It sounds ridiculous that you would ever have to prove gravity when it's just been a constant for all of human existence, but he scientifically proved it. Hands. Cool looking. They look the apples. A baby one, a fresh one, and a slightly overripe one. What? Do I have to shoot them down? Alright, I don't know where the third picture is, or I guess this is it. No, this one will be ripe. Hard to tell the difference between red and ripe. You know, ripe is aged. So the man in the picture points it out. And yeah, I think apples are green when they start, but like, there are also apples that are just supposed to be green, so it's a bit weird. It would have helped if they just went red, green, yellow. I like yellow apples the best. The sweetest. And I like the sour flavor of the green ones too, but they're usually like, they feel a little underripe. Maybe that's how they're green, and the green just doesn't exist as an actual apple, and I pulled that out my ass, you know? Maybe they've always just been underripe. Apples in general is difficult to eat though, like they're very hard. Obviously if you age it, it'll get squishy, but then it's kind of just right. If I do yellow ones, they're just a little softer though. Some parts of it. Am I supposed to move it? Got a gun? Seeds. It's floating in his hand. And there's no way that was physics-based. They totally could have just put it in his actual palm. A weird text box was on that, if it's just gonna disappear. There she is. Disappear from in the next room or something. Need a special exhibit room. Shadows, like why are there shadows? There's shadows all over this wall, like those little big shadows I was talking about. Like it's dark, it looks good, and I don't know why there's real-time shadows here. It's just coming from this stupid wall, like it's static, it could have been baked on. What's interesting is that the actual real-time shadows, like the one coming from York, are just fine. I think the ones on the car were flickery, if I remember. I kind of stopped paying attention at a certain point, but you know, it's inconsistent. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that a heal? I appreciate that the layout of this place didn't change at all. The extra walls they wanted to put in, they just put in like that. God's telling me. is red, it's gotta have the key on it. The key on it. Peace out, bro. Oh, you know it's upside down. Feels right to me when you display in the picture like that. Oh, I didn't even start profiling.
You? What are you doing here?
So it was you. Much more astonishing than I imagined. I'm impressed.
No! Don't! I'm not gonna stop!
Little knife play in public, right in the art gallery. Knife play is a scary one. Like, being tied up and blindfolded is one thing, but a knife held against your throat, just for the sexual thrill. I don't understand how there is a thrill there. Someone's got a fucking knife to your throat. Oh, not another one of these. And I suppose choking might be relevant, you know, like, you could totally die from someone choking you too, but people, I think most women are kind of into that. It's almost vanilla. And maybe knife play is just like an evolution of that, though it's honestly less intimate. Like, you're holding a cold knife to your throat, it's not really the same as someone's warm, sweaty hands. And it's a lot easier to make a mistake there, I would imagine. So we're playing with the same fucking room. That kind of worked. I fucked up the aiming, but if I used the lock on here. Holy shit, she can go to the other walls. That's interesting. If she did it the first time. Oh shit, she's on the floor. What the fuck? I feel like doing interesting things this time. I guess that's how you do a repeat boss, but she could have had some of these actions, like at least the wall switching the first time. Died quick because she's doing different shit. It's another one. It's funny how the laser pointer turns into a targeting thing when it's pointed at her head, or, you know, above my head. Should probably use a med kit. It'd be a real shame if we died now. He's not grabbing so predictably. That's probably not that fucked up, you know. You're in the ass. Holds your dick shape for a reason. Another one. Finally, a full chase. Jesus fucking Christ. I mentioned that the Xbox version is like always in this over-the-shoulder camera angle. Probably helps a lot with the camera not getting stuck in walls. Gonna look good for a date with Destiny. Oh, it's in our fucking padlock. You love to see it. Holy shit, that's like a Wonka chocolate bar. It's beautiful.
Nick.
I feel like I didn't pick up one last piece of evidence there.
Huh?
Blood. Someone hanging. Nick fainted.
Agent Morgan, where are you? Answer me! Come on, open up!
Diane? George, call for assistance with the
I'm
body.
guessing that the blood trail was from her body getting dragged out. Someone hoisted the rope. I don't know how else she got up there.
Diane, don't move.
They cut her down, she was getting impaled.
And stay still.
Oh, exactly what's about to happen. Get that thing out of the way.
George, it's no good. It won't budge.
Emily, stand back.
Frame it. Oh shit, it happened anyways. Well, they tried.
George, there's not enough time.
I'm getting impaled if you try and catch her mid-air, dude. George, what the fuck?
Catch us!
Yeah, that's a lot of jump force. Clear that fucking tree. You might actually live. Maybe your tongue's cut out, though. Honestly, that might give her even more attention from the boys, you know what I'm saying? Find out what that mouth don't do anymore.
Thomas!
When you
Call
lose
an
your teeth and you
ambulance!
figure out what a gummer is.
A what?
Agent York, George, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I think I'm too old to be an acrobat, though.
Diane looks okay too. She should be able to tell us who did this to her.
God, I hope so. But you, George, quite a catch. I'm impressed.
George? Diane.
What a beautiful beach. The reaching one who feel off into many directions. Combinating the sharp voices glide away into nothingness, inspiring a truly deep eroticism in all who clear. Every woman will find herself about being penetrated by those sharp voices. This piece is most unimaginable desire.
It's supposed to be erotic.
And yet, this is far more than a wooden piece of art. It is a creative masterpiece by elegant
Diane?
themselves. Come closer. Begging speed.
Death and sex. I won't see it penetrated by that tree so badly.
Diane!
Stop right there, Nick. You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Diane Ames.
I don't think it was him.
Back off! Don't touch me!
Oh, that's how it happens. I saw it coming, but not like that.
Diane, no! Move!
Emily, hurry!
Friction bullet. Is that the tongue? Or just a rock? You know, concrete, not a rock.
I requested
easy job, huh?
Thomas, we'll need a body bag too.
Some murders on like the same week.
Nick, quiet.
Can you hear that?
The giggling. Oh, Dougie. FK.
I think he wants us to follow him. Shall we follow, Zach?
Why not? I'll follow the Dougie. I'm guessing this means Forrest is here somewhere. Maybe he's that man in the weird leather jacket we keep seeing. Didn't look like him, though. Who knows? Big enough, just gotta relocate his fat. Who knows, maybe it's like all muscle and just, you know, disguised himself by pushing it down into his stomach, but, you know, he just, you know, it all comes right up, fills up his chest and biceps. Puts on a girdle. following the trail. Alright, well, doggy knows best. Arf, arf. You even know where you're going, doggy. Motherfucker, I said take me to your leader. I didn't need to follow a dog to find out where the blood trail went. Swear to God, if he actually leads us to Forest, this dog's a fucking traitor. Here it is. More plants. An entrance to a rape dungeon.
Willie, are you out there?
Kaysen, what are you doing in there?
York, is that you? Thank God. I can't get this door open. Can you unlock it from your side?
Kaysen, stand away from the door.
It counted to 3, goddamn. Rape dungeon, you got kissy.
Where's Diane? And what are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Well, let's just say I have my reasons, you know, private reasons. I don't really have to tell you, do I?
Actually, you do. Diane just died a moment ago.
What?
You're not just a key witness now. You're now a suspect. And you need to tell me exactly what you were doing here.
Well, I just came here to talk with Diane. To have a conversation.
And I suppose that kiss mark on your cheek is from your conversation.
This was just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Which is exactly what killed Diane.
Okay. I came here to be with Diane. You happy now? We've been together before, a couple times. It's one of the reasons why I like coming to this town, see? This time is no different. I bumped into her in a bar in Seattle. I had some holiday coming up. Well, so I just took it and I drove her back here. I have a wife, you know, but we've been separated for a while. We're going through a divorce right now, and I don't want her lawyer finding out.
What, did you get divorced because you were cheating on her?
Anyway, how could I kill Diane if I was in a room locked from the outside? 2 hours ago, me and Diane, we were taking it easy, drinking upstairs. We were, you know, enjoying ourselves. Then Nick had to show up. Well, then Diane had a sudden change of heart. She locked me up in here.
Yep. Choosing between two married men, you pick
I've just
the
been
skinnier
here,
one.
waiting for her to come back, of course, but she didn't. I heard footsteps a couple of times, but they just passed by. Well, then I couldn't wait anymore, so I let Willie here out through the window. Then you showed up instead of Diane.
Zach, Diane has become the third victim of our killer.
And nada from questioning Nick. Nothing. Got no new leads from questioning Nick. He's taken the death of Diane really badly. In shock, the works. He claims to have liked talking with her about art, but he also had a problem with her views about men. He says that they argued, but not at a level that would lead to a murder. They were about to head out to the bar again together, but while he was waiting for Diane, someone knocked him out cold. He has no idea who it was either. Of course, Kaysen looks like a prime suspect, but that door was locked from the outside. There was no other way in or out of that room, which means there is no evidence of his involvement at this time. He did say something else. The footsteps he heard outside the room were not heels, but a man's boots. And Nick was wearing boots. But now that Diane's dead, no one can back up Nick's statement. Which is why we have Nick in custody and have to let Kaysen go free. That seemed like the only option, at least for now.
Well, if
One more
Kaysen
thing,
did it and Nick locked him up.
George looked terribly depressed. I guess this case is really getting to him.
He's feeling responsible for the deaths of Becky and Diane. Take his rules and confidence away from him? I wonder what's left. Well, of course, he'd still have muscle.
It'd be hard to lock a guy up and his dog, though. Like, the dog would attack you. What does it mean they argue about her views about men? What do you think about men? That they're only good for sex? One of those? All women who don't need no man but like a little dick.
Zach, let's get back to the hotel.
First Anna, then Becky, now Diane. I'm not looking forward to writing this investigation report.
Agent Morgan. York. Do you have a moment?
What is it, George?
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Do you have any time later?
Can't we just do it here?
If possible, I'd like to go to a bar. Of course, we don't really have to.
A bar? Now that sounds like a good idea.
Zach, what do you think? We can go drinking with George, or turn him down and head back to the hotel.
Oh, George.
George, that scar on your cheek. Where did you get it?
This? Didn't I tell you? Well, it's not from work. I got it when I was a kid.
A childhood injury. Tree climbing? I used to get a few scrapes myself climbing the big tree in our backyard. I used to climb it a lot. and fall out of it a lot.
This wasn't anything like that, though. It was my mother. She did it.
Oh,
I'm sorry, George.
everything on your back from her.
Don't
too.
worry.
No
It's ancient
orphans.
history. The world is flooded with unreasonable violence. The strong overpower the weak, adults over children, men over women, and criminals over their victims. I have no memories of my father. He left before I knew him. My mother would hit me every time I asked why. And it didn't stop there. If I ate too slow, left my shoes scattered around, TV volume too loud, she found reasons to hit me. Hit me bad. The worst was what she called the tree punishment. She'd whip my back with these thin tree branches like a whip.
Oh. I don't know if that's better or worse than the belt. Probably worse. You know, that belt to make a whippy sound. Tree branch, it's so easy though.
Tree punishment was definitely the worst, I tell you. Just hearing those words used to make me shiver and want to pass out. And that's why I didn't want to show you those scars on my back. Every time after the tree punishment, she'd always say the same thing. This is hurting the tree more than it is hurting you. And me, being a naive, dumb kid, I believed her. I went to the woods to apologize to the trees.
Jackass.
I kept asking myself, why is she hurting me this way? I thought long and hard about it. In the end, I've just figured I'm weaker than her. That's why. It's the law of Mother Nature at work. The strong eat the weak.
But now, you have the power to protect the weak.
That's right. Perhaps I should thank my mother for guiding me into this line of work. York. I've been an arrogant fool, haven't I? And if it weren't for me, both Becky and Diane would still be alive. I could have saved them both. You know, it's almost like they died because of me.
You're out of your mind.
I invited you to this bar for a drink. But I guess this bar is my confession chamber, and I wanted you to listen. And to tell you, well, you must already hate me for causing all these problems and not following your orders. York, I'm sorry. I'll follow your orders from now on. You'll have my total cooperation.
George, you've been as cooperative as you can be. You even invited an FBI guy to a bar for drinks. You've done a good job protecting this town. And the folks here respect you for that. Nobody can blame you for anything.
Thanks. I do feel a little better.
All that ass whooping, he still loves his mother enough to take care of her when she's ill.
Since we're here, why don't you talk to a few other people? I'll just finish off my drink. Let me know before you leave, okay?
Alright, well, Carol's right here.
Hey, Carol. Becky is dead. Diane, too. We've got Nick in custody as a suspect.
Nick didn't do it.
I know. Carol, you took a locket from Diane, didn't you? A locket with this mark on it.
You're showing it to her.
I'm busy, gotta go.
The floor that dirty is leaving little dust clouds when she walks. Music's awful quiet, isn't it?
Behind the tall leaves, they should see us. I have seen a haze from the night, muddy space. I dream of feet like glistener. You are conscious of my innocence. Everyone's just written out to know. Life is but a dream.
Over now. Well, I'm gonna save right here, and I'm hoping it's like the end of the chapter when I get to the hotel. Because it's about time for us to finish this up.
Sorry to keep you waiting, boys.
Zack, Emily is already a goddess of the forest.
Don't say that out loud, you cornball.
Let's forget work for a bit and drink a little, shall we?
York?
There's an overbite.
Why is she here?
I just thought the more the merrier. You know, to relax and get loose. Is this a problem?
No, of course not. Pardon me, Emily, but I'm pooped. I think I'll just call it a night.
George, I just got here and you're walking out on me? I was hoping the three of us could have a drink and let out a little steam.
I'm afraid I've already had enough. And I already had a good man-to-man with York. So I'll see you guys.
Maybe he's reading the room, which is all dressed up. This is a date.
I think George likes you, but he's avoiding you all at the same time.
How astute.
There's a reason?
Nothing worth going into. It's a thing of the past.
Sexual harassment.
Okay. He did ask me out when I first came to town. I was still in high school. But I never really considered him my type. And there's the age gap thing, too. I respect him, of course.
Yeah,
I
so
wouldn't
pretty
take his
me.
job otherwise.
So, did you move to this town alone?
Of course not. I came with my parents.
Tell me about them then.
Sure, why not? My dad dealt in stocks in New York. He was hardly at home when I was a kid, always working. Those pieces of paper were far more important to him than I was. Which is no different now, really. I don't see much of him. My mother? Totally different story. A wonderful person that I still respect. She was always kind and understanding. Not only that, but she would always help me find my way. She could be fierce, too, scolding me if I took a wrong step. We had our battles, sure, but all in all, she was a wonderful mother.
Past tense?
Yeah, she's gone now. Cancer, just before I graduated high school. She gave this to me just before she died. I take it with me wherever I go. It's what I treasure most.
The hell was that?
I'm sure she's very proud of you.
Potato chip on a string?
I had a good time tonight. Good night.
See you tomorrow.
York.
Yes.
Please, don't lie to us, okay?
I won't. Don't worry. I won't.
That was a waste of cigarette. Suppose we need to get back downtown now.
There was another really bad one around this time of year. 3 years ago. Remember, Zach?
Hey,
Yes, that's right.
Myers, you little bitch.
Multiple homicide, same MO. Across Utah, Colorado, and Missouri.
Get off my desk.
The victims were all average married housewives. But after being run over so many times by a car, they didn't look human. 5 victims in 2 months in the 3 states. The way he killed them was always the same. But aside from that, there was nothing that linked the victims together. Well, they were all married. But age, race, nothing else matched up. Tire marks and fragments of paint ID'd the car that was used. That's where things got really tricky. The perpetrator used a 1993 model Cadillac Alante as a weapon. It was registered in the name of one Senator... No, I don't feel like talking about this anymore. That senator's basement. I wish I could forget what I saw there.
Cadillac. Fancy man's car.
Zach, let's go over our progress.
From what Olivia told us, and the sketchbook we found at Becky's house, Nick and Diane became our primary suspects. There were a couple of reasons for this. First, Becky gave the missing locket to Diane. Also, Nick has no alibi for when Anna and Becky were killed. We followed Nick to the art gallery, which led us, unfortunately, to our third victim. The third victim, Diane, was strung up in the entrance hall of the art gallery. Her hands were tied and a knife was sticking out of her chest. However, there was a marked difference from the previous crimes.
Do you remember what that was, Zach?
Multiple bodies, no murder weapon. Right after the crime.
That's right. Diane was still alive. This suggests that very little time had passed since the crime was committed. Which means the criminal was still close by. It was somewhere near the scene. There are two possible candidates. Nick, who was knocked out in the entrance, and one other.
Zach, who was the other person in the gallery?
Forrest Kaysen.
That's right. Kaysen. We followed Willie.
Really blaming him because of coffee.
Kaysen's statement came out as follows. He and Diane had a physical relationship. That was why he visited the gallery. The two were in the middle of such a meeting when Nick showed up. Diane lost her cool and shut Kaysen up in the basement. Now, what did Kaysen hear when he was locked up?
Boots.
That's it. The sound of boots passing by. Nick was wearing boots that day. Which means it was likely that Diane met with Nick in her
boots
room.
in a kitchen.
Nick said he argued verbally with Diane about her playing around with Nick,
boots.
but they eventually decided to go out drinking to make up. However, immediately after that,
was there all day.
Nick was attacked by someone in the entrance hall and knocked unconscious. We saw the rest.
Zach, do you think that Nick is our serial killer?
No.
Me too. Usha sent in a report too. He found a large volume of red seeds in Diane's stomach. This confirms her as a victim of the raincoat killer. Remaining leads. There is the locket, which is in Carol's possession, the man with the tattooed back, and the upside-down peace sign. There's a lot left to answer. I hope the coffee will give us more guidance tomorrow.
Zach, what did you think about George pouring his heart out? I was surprised. It's the end of a monarchy. And he called me York instead of Agent Morgan.
Emily? What's going on? Do you know what time it is?
I'm sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I was drinking alone.
Went back to the bar?
My mother was a very kind woman. She always smiled so brightly, and baked cakes and cookies every day. She'd say that I needed the sugar because I spent so much time thinking. My father was always quiet. We never talked much. He was a federal agent, just like me. And he was hardly ever at home. The only words he ever had for me were harsh ones. I had a vivid imagination, and I remember he once said this to me. There are plenty of crazy things in this world. You don't have to go dreaming them up. and it's my job to make sense out of them. One day you'll understand what I'm saying. I found out later that my father was one of the first to ever use criminal profiling to catch bad guys. And so now I'm doing exactly the same job that he did. Like father, like son.
Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Mind if it's something personal?
Fire away.
Who's Zach?
Zach
Big question.
is a friend of mine.
Oh, so you do have friends.
Yeah. He's my only friend.
What kind of person is he then?
Well, I've never seen his face. But he's always with me, and we discuss everything.
When did you become friends?
A long time ago. Back when I was a child. I was 7. I woke up one morning to hear my mother crying in the living room. This wasn't normal, so I headed in to see her. My father was there pointing a gun at my mother. I was so scared. I closed my eyes, so I don't remember much more. But I do remember the words my father said to me. At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist. Even if it means losing someone that you love.
Possessed? What the fuck?
When I came back to my senses, they were both dead. He shot my mother and then killed himself.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Zach's with me. It was around that time that we became friends.
I'm here.
PTSD.
I'm with you, he said. I'll be here always. We can get through this together. Quite aside from that terrible scene in front of me, that voice seemed to make me calmer. And here we are, working together, getting through things.
This is the first time I've ever told anyone about this. I wonder if Zach will get angry.
That's a sad story. But I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm sure there was a reason for what your father did.
I know. I think maybe I became an agent to find out why he did what he did.
Oh yeah, York, I forgot to thank you.
Thank me? For what?
You saved my life. If you didn't save me at the gallery, I would have died along with Diane.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
What did you just say? Useless? I was never expecting to hear you say that. Huh. There might be a modest guy in you after all.
Finally, you noticed? You're a little slow, aren't you?
Maybe hopeless, but not useless.
Zach, do you think Emily got home safely?
Wearing shoes in bed.
Anyway, I think it's
They
more
took off
serious
the
of a
coat.
situation than I thought. Do you remember? Our conversation with Emily. She's really interested in you. I think she's starting to have certain feelings for you.
If that's the case, Zach, you and I are rivals. This is a very serious situation indeed.
Well, if it comes to that, let it be a fair fight. Agreed?
Fuck are you saying?
Thomas! Thomas! Let me out of here! Come on, please! Just for a moment. 1 second. Hate it in here, Thomas. I think I'm going mad. I know you're there! Come on, please! Thomas! 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 Thomas!
Next dungeon? And then you just hear with the sister. I saw the booby pads. That was a man. Almost certainly Thomas. And who else would be at the bar with her after hours? And he was tall and lanky, of course. And with Nikki and all mad like that, I just said before, there was a cutscene I remember that's like, we haven't encountered it yet, though I definitely haven't gotten to this part of the game before. So it must be a side quest related, I don't know, but I distinctly remember something about the seeds being called like the seeds of wrath or something. I would imagine that means eating them makes you angry. It has something to do with the incident that happened before. There was like a massacre, and I think the seeds were involved. Maybe it'll come up later, but I don't remember any of this. Right, we just saved, right? So we're good. It's getting a little late for me, so, you know, 3 hours, that was the goal. And we just finished the chapter, so we made progress. That car chase was awful. And the wall ladies were awful too. But still, we got some interesting stuff regardless. And, you know, that's the whole point. That's why we're playing this. It's doing exactly what I knew it would do. So, I mean, alright. Well, we'll see you guys in a week, and hopefully I have this thing figured out a little more. Like, maybe I'll do it on Saturday or whatever, not so late in the morning. That's about it. See ya. Bye bye.